Sexism in the military is very serious. I'm going to explain how sexism in the military hinders women, deters them, and demotivates them. It's also very disgusting. It's also depriving. Sexism is defined as prejudice or discrimination based on sex, especially discrimination against women. I believe that's in there for a reason. There's not a lot of organizations that you see that are sexist against men. Upon interviewing approximately 10 individuals within the military, officers enlisted, white, male, female, black, Hispanic, I came to find that most of them, the majority, believe that it's far more, well, it's more frowned upon for women to become pregnant or get out of the military for lack of child care than it is for an individual to have a drug offense or a DUI offense or disciplinary issues. It's very shocking. It's saying that women who become pregnant, not by other women, of course, but by men, are far more worse a case than someone who decides to do drugs. That's sad. That's saying something. That is very sexist. Traditionally, women weren't even really a real part of the military until the mid to late 70s. That's not far. That hasn't been a long time ago. That's quite recent. Up until then, they were not allowed to hold the same rank as their male counterparts. That's pretty sad. That's really sad. And although they're allowed to hold these same ranks now, it's very difficult for them to get to these ranks. They have to go further than their male counterparts would in achieving these ranks or getting to these certain positions and statuses. They still have to fight against the male-dominant military. And that's, I mean, it shouldn't have to be that way. In the military, there's a lot of networking going on. All right. It's quite easy for commanders and senior ranking enlisted personnel to manipulate this system as well. There's systems put in place in the regulations in the military regulations for promotions and for awards. And it's just too easy for them to manipulate them. They have this good old boy system where they're able to either not submit or go through the right system for promotions or awards, and they're able to just select just by their opinions rather than a person's merit for awards and promotions. Climate surveys are not assessed. They're not put through the right channels so that companies or units are able to give a good assessment of what's transpired in the past and what they need to do to improve for the future of the unit. Inspector generals, who are supposed to be there for the service members, are not doing their jobs. They're more afraid of repercussions than they are of not aiding a service member. And that's sad. It's really sad. If the basis for this is if there's more education about the sexist, good old boy systems in the service now, there's more education within these ranks, then officials who write these regulations and commanders who lead these units and companies and senior NCOs or senior enlisted personnel who run these organizations will have more checks and balances placed upon them to do the right thing. They will not be allowed to sway to the left or not adhere to regulations. That will indeed aid minorities, in particularly women, females, in progressing. There's a lot of times where these females who are in the service have more potential than their male counterparts, but are overlooked simply because they are female. And it's from tradition, it's out of habit, it's out of people being afraid, and out of ignorance. Thank you for your time.